Okay, so my number one art supply is my brain. My brain has good stuff in it. It has art references, an unhealthy amount of BSD, and the motivation to carry on drawing. You can buy a brain off the black market, or if you're a brokey like me, then you can like feed your brain with sleep. Sleep is like food for the brain. Are you starving your brain? By the way, the first couple minutes are just gonna be me talking about like health stuff. Yeah, the stuff that you're looking for is like somewhere here. Hopefully I'll have the whole video in chapters anyway, so you can find what you're looking for. If not, there'll probably be like timestamps in the caption or something. Go check. Either that or pin comments, so go skip to whatever you're looking for, I guess. Because like fair warning, if you watch the whole video, you're probably going to go on another shopping spree and buy lots of stuff but you don't have the money for. But hey, I'm not your mom, go buy what you want. Anyway, good brain equals good art, you'll improve faster and stuff, trust me. Probably like scrolling through the suggested videos or something now because like sleep is for the weak, school doesn't let us sleep. I can't sleep because of school. But just because you can't get 8 hours of sleep doesn't mean you can't get 6 or 5 hours of sleep, bro. Consistency of your sleep schedule is actually like way more important than the amount of hours you get. So if you sleep and wake at the same time every day, even if you only get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep, it's totally fine and even realistic because like, come on, school sucks. I used to be like, oh, it's totally fine to get like 3 hours of sleep on the weekdays because then I can catch up on the weekends with like 12 hours of sleep. But like, weekend catch up sleep is a lie. You're way better off with a consistent sleep schedule where you wake and sleep at the same time every day, even if it means that like you technically get less sleep. Trust me, like I read an entire book on sleep. Like the fact that they can even make a book about sleep just shows how important it is. To save you the time reading it though, let me just like summarize it in 2 words. Sleep good. Here you go, just so you know that I actually like do what I say. Of course you can't keep it consistent like every day because you're probably gonna have to stay up or something, but like as long as you get good sleep for like most of the nights, then your art skills will go new in a good way. I would do the hand motions right now, but like my hands are full. I'm currently walking towards my bedroom because yeah, here's some more food for your brain. Fish oil is also good, like most people will benefit from it. Like sleep will still make a bigger difference and plus it's free. So I take 1 fish oil thingy every day now, but when I first started, right, I could literally feel my brain being more active. Like that's wild. Okay, yeah, I'm sick of talking healthy now. Let's just go into the actual stuff. Things first, what do I draw in? I draw in a sketchbook, of course. This one is the one that I'm using right now, Data Roundly Mixed Media paper. It's my absolute favorite because like look at this, right? Basically no bleed through, yo what? And I'll get more into it later, but I basically use everything, so this paper is just like magical for me. I guess that's why it's called multimedia paper, huh? Here's the bleed through of another one. If you watch my video, you know that I screwed up this drawing like really badly. Like, you know the brown part of a jacket? Bro, I basically put like 5 layers of alcohol markers on that, which is quite a lot. I also put watercolor for the background, and then when that didn't work, I put more watercolor on it, and then when that didn't work, then I put acrylic on it. So the paper is still in like pretty good condition. I still put my anti-bleed through sheet under it though because yeah, I'm paranoid. Basically the paper is good and I like it, though if you use like heavy watercolor, you should probably just buy like straight up watercolor paper. I only use like a little bit of watercolor though, so it's fine for me. By the way, I'll put like links to everything in the description, so like go check that. Yeah, well worth the price. Maybe I overpraised this sketchbook, but like after a year of using this sketchbook, bro, any sketchbook is like basically god. I literally just noticed, but like I think I got some paint there or something, but like oh, I hope that doesn't ruin my drawing. Anyway, please, whatever you do, please don't buy this sketchbook. I can't even link it anyway because I stole it off my sister, and the sketchbook itself has no brand name, which is a huge red flag. If you do see it in the store, so can I just say that I'm not joking when I say that like markers will leak through 5 pages of this thing. And like don't even get me started on the paper quality itself. This sketchbook literally can't handle an eraser, bro. Hey, look at this. I think I only rubbed it out like once or twice, but like look what it did to my markers. It's not even like I rub hard or anything. I rub like a normal person. It's lucky that I didn't have to rub this one out that much though, because like literally this would have happened if I had to rub it out like 1 more time. I'm sorry, but how is it possible for me to like create an entire hole in the paper through just rubbing out? Anyway, don't buy it even if it's cheap. I'm walking upstairs again because I have an alternative to show you. If you're like really mega poor, then I recommend this sketchbook. I bought these sketchbooks before inflation happened, by the way, so I think they're like £1.50 now, which is basically still a bag of sweet. Sketchbook by Crawford and Black, aka From The Work. I'm pretty sure The Works is like a UK thing, by the way, so I don't know if I'll have it, but I'll try to find it online. Anyway, bro, this sketchbook has served me really well. Yes, this one might be falling apart right now, but considering I used it like every day for like a year. Actually, according to my notes, it was 2.5 years, but I don't really believe myself. Like, how did it take me 2 years to finish 72 pages? Anyway, this sketchbook is only 130 GSM compared to like the 250 from my other sketchbook. So yeah, there is quite a bit of bleed through. It gets the job done pretty well, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Wait, what? Why were my old drawings so good? Anyway, yeah, this sketchbook very good. That's why I brought so many of it. Also, quick note, before I bought all these other sketchbooks from The Works, I bought this black one here. And basically, I don't know how to describe it, but it's got the same texture as that other sketchbook from earlier. You know, the really trashy one. By the way, I'm pretty sure this is like my first sketchbook. Maybe I should do an old art tour sometime. Anyway, if I remember correctly, the sketchbook is called like Field Sketchbook or something. I don't really remember the brand. It might be Crawford and Black again, but it was like £3 when I bought it before inflation. But yeah, you don't want that sketchbook, just get this one. It's like cheaper and better, like wow. If you have a little bit more money though, then I recommend 𝐶 White or Brighton sketchbooks. They're pretty nice, hardcover on both sides, and the sticker comes off like really easily. So it's pretty nice if you want to like decorate your sketchbook. Wow, double-sided. There's still quite a bit of bleed through with the markers, but it's still pretty nice paper. Like, I like the texture on these ones. These ones feel a lot more smoother. The recycled coffee cup one does have a bit more of like like a grainy texture. You know, like the little brown hair things that you see in like recycled paper, because recycled. The paper itself is like really smooth, which is nice. A lot more smoother than the £1 sketchbook you can imagine. So yeah, those are the 𝐂𝐤𝐻𝐻 sketchbooks. By the way, for idea drafting and sketching, I use a different sketchbook. This one by the works again, I've got it on sale because haha. But it's basically just printer paper, which is why yeah, I basically only use pencil in it for drafting. My big drawing, and by that I mean big drawing singular, I've only used it like once. Use this sketchbook by Claire Fontaine. It's the same GSM as my Dela Rowney one, but I still like this one better, to be honest. This one just like feels better, you know? You get what I mean? It's better vibe. Actually, to be honest, I could barely tell the difference between the two. I've only used a big one like once anyway. Finally, there's this big new sketchbook that I used last video. I got this in like a set sort of thing, so I don't know how much it costs. But yeah, I think I like the 𝐂𝐤𝐻𝐻 sketchbooks better. I haven't tried using markers on this yet, but I don't know, the paper feels thin, and I don't know, I just feel like the 𝐂𝐤𝐻𝐻 Brighton one is higher quality, even though this one's 150 GSM and the big one is 160 GSM. I'm still gonna use the sketchbook though, because like I'm not gonna let a perfectly good sketchbook go to waste. One last thing though, if you're like the brokest are broke, remember that your maths book is always also open story actually. So I drew this at the end of summer, right, because I was thinking, yeah, new year, new book. But no, we have to keep using our old maths book. So now I have to spend like every maths lesson thinking, damn, I hope Miss doesn't see my drawing today. It's a very fun experience, as you can imagine. Sometimes you don't really need a sketchbook, all you need is a maths book. Anyway, on to pens and pencils. Honestly, I'm not really bothered about pencils at all, like I just pick the first one I see in my pencil case. I do like this pencil though, 𝐂𝐤𝐿 0.5 by Faber-Castell. It just looks pretty and it has finer lead, so that's nice. I keep accidentally making the lead too long though and snapping it. There's also these Papermate non-stop that I like. It's a lot harder to snap your lead on these ones, so I recommend them if you like snap your lead a lot. One thing that really annoys me though is that you basically can't use a rubber on the end, because once it gets too short then you can't get it out, and then that means that you can't refill it. To be fair though, I think that's just a problem with mechanical pencils in general. By the way, the Papermate pencils are 0.7 lead. I basically just use like whatever lead I find around the house. These two I know I got from China ages ago, so I don't know if I'll be able to like find a link to those. But like really, it doesn't matter. It's just a pencil, like you can't really screw up a pencil. By the way, this here is a pencil extender. It makes my short pencil long. Wow! To be honest, I think it's very useful, but I don't really like how it feels. Normally I don't really worry about pencil grades either, like HB is fine. Like I literally do this with like a mechanical pencil and like that one 2B pencil that I got for free, so. For carbon transfer though, I do use a soft pencil, so I just take like my little sister's ones, Liquid Jaw Professional. But like to be fair, like if you try hard enough, you could do it with HB as well. As for erasers, basically the same situations as pencils, I just use whatever I see first. This rubber, I don't know what the brand is called, but if you see something like it, don't buy it please. It's really really bad. It just smudges your pencil. And it's not even like in a blending stump kind of way, it just sucks. It's a shame though, because like the rubber's kind of cute. It has like these edible looking things and like look at it, I could eat that. Recently I've been using this rubber, which is kind of alright, but to be honest, if I had to like pick, I'd say my favorite rubber was this one by Derwent. The Derwent one was really good at erasing things, but I don't know how, mine broke into like lots of tiny pieces, so I put it in the bin. I will say as well, please get like a pencil rubber. Like it's the shape of a pencil, but it's a rubber. I suppose the brand doesn't really matter, like these ones are brandless because my mom got them for me off Temu. But I find them way more useful than kneaded erasers and electric erasers. If you're looking for an electric eraser, the one by Derwent is good because it, like you can buy refills separately as well, which is nice, but it's a bit chunky. I would show you mine, but it's kind of broken right now. I don't think I'll be buying another one for a while though, because to be honest, like normal eraser and pencil eraser are good for me. Probably because I don't like work primarily in pencil, but I don't really need any other rubber. Also, I guess pencil sharpeners don't really matter either, but like I like the one by Faber-Castell. You can sharpen a lot in it and it like closes, so like you never get that problem where the pencil sharpenings like explode in your pencil case. Okay, now for fine liners, we can actually talk about brand names again. Woo. Let's start off with black pen. I used to use black a lot to fine line my drawing, and I still do use black sometimes. For general lines, I like to use Faber-Castell Extra Small 0.1 or V5 High Tech Point by Pilot. I use it for writing as well, but you know, it does two jobs. The Pilot pen is meant for writing though, it's really smooth, I really like it. So yeah, it does smudge, you're gonna have to like wait a bit if you want to use color on top. It smudges badly with highlighters as well, so I have to like wait a few minutes before highlighting stuff as a cool, and it's really annoying, but I really like how the pen writes, so conflict. This random Chinese pen is also really nice as well for both writing and fine lining. It is also finer, so 0.35. And these Sakura pens by Deli are really nice as well. I think it's because they all ink, so I think they like all smudge. They're very pretty though. The ink from the Chinese pen actually fits inside the Sakura pens, but like it kind of ruins the prettiness, which sucks. Also, small problem, when you take off the cap, sometimes the grip like comes down with it. I don't know, I might have to like super glue it on. I do really like ink based pens though, because they're not like biros where they like, run out halfway. They're like really smooth, and you know, I'm pretty sure they're not meant to be fine lined with, but like whatever works, you know. Anyway, for thicker lines I use Faber-Castell but thicker again, and for filling in large areas I use Faber-Castell B or SB. You can get smaller lines with SB, but it's a lot harder to control, so I prefer B. The Faber-Castell ones, I know they come in like big set and small set. Personally, I go for the small set because really you don't need that many pens, but Sadly, the small set doesn't have 0.1, but it's like you can live without them. They're not that cool, you know. I'm pretty sure they also sell the pens like individually though, so you can like buy that if you want. Anyway, after a while of black fine liner, I switched to colored, which was, if I'm completely honest, a pretty bad decision. It was like okay at first, but after a while I think I definitely went a bit too overboard with it. The thing is, with colored fine liner, you have to make sure that it's like dark enough to be seen, otherwise then, you know, it'll end up looking like this, which kind of looks bad. If you have a style like mine, at least you don't want the outline to be blending in with the colors. So when I still use colored fine liner, I use the K liners and the Scribblicious ones. I got the Scribblicious ones from the works, and like they're good, they get the job done. Both of them are pretty affordable actually. I will say that the K liners are a bit more like, I don't know how to describe it, but they stand out more intense colors too. So when I used them, I had a lot less of a problem with the fine liner colors blending in with the marker colors. So I don't know, pick what you like, I guess. Both are pretty affordable. If you have more money, I've heard the Sakura Micron Pigma pens are like pretty good as well, but I haven't tried them myself, so I don't know. Anyway, recently I moved back to just brown fine liner, and like, oh my god, I love these Unipin ones. It comes in a set of 3, 0.1, 0.5 brush, which is honestly like all you need. The brush though, can we talk about the brush please? Like, okay, look at this. Ooh. Okay, so I was doing that one-handed, not the best example. Like, if for some reason you only have money for like one fine liner, go for this one please. The brush on the Unipin ones is just so much easier to control than the Faber-Castell ones in my opinion. It's so much easier to make like really small lines with this one. And like honestly, sometimes I use only the brush pen to fine line. That's how good it is, bro. You don't need the 0.5 or 0.1. I know they have a grey version, but I haven't tried that out yet. Like, I literally just brought this one like this morning. Actually, let's try it now. Yeah, the grey is also good. I think personally though, I do prefer the brown because it's warmer color. They probably do have like a black brush pen as well, but I haven't tried that yet. I will try to find it though anyway, because honestly I do like these better than the Faber-Castell ones. Anyway, for colouring I use 𝐒𝐤𝐞 markers primarily. I got the 72 marker set first, but the thing that sucks here is that there's like no skin colour. So I did get the skin colour set as well. They're kind of expensive, but considering they're alcohol markers, that's actually like really cheap. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that Copic markers cost about 10 times more. These ones I use for light skin characters. They're Copic, so they're like good obviously. But I only really bought them because my 𝐒𝐞 ones ran out. Like R18 and R19 work fine. And like the 𝐒𝐞 ones lasted a really long time. Like I had them for like 2-3 years. And like if you couldn't tell by my massive sketchbook haul earlier, like I make a lot of art. 𝐒𝐞s aren't refillable, but they do have individual markers for sale now. The thing is, the individual markers are a lot more expensive than in a set. Like they cost half a Copic, and the Copic markers were on sale, right? So I just brought them in. Also about this marker organizer here, I made it myself. But like honestly, the free cases that they give you, they're good enough, just use them. Like this really isn't as cool as it seems, but they sell a lot of these online, so I'll link one anyway. But yeah, one thing that I really like about 𝐒𝐞 is that each set comes with like this plastic thing. Basically you put it under your paper to prevent bleed through, and I just think it's really nice, very useful. I also have a 𝐒𝐞 48 set of pastels. I think there's like a 96 set now. So if you use like a lot of pastel colors, then maybe you can start off with this rather than the 72 marker set, because the 72 marker set doesn't really come with a lot of light colors. I also have the 36 set of grays. It's like grays. What do I say about it? The 72 marker set already has a lot of grays, so honestly you can just make do with that. For each of the sets, I'm pretty sure they have bullet chisel, bullet brush, and chisel brush. Personally, my favorite is chisel brush, just because like I don't draw very small, and if I need to make like some fine lines, then I can just use brush. I'm pretty sure bullet chisel is cheaper than the brush ones, but I think that the brush ones though are easier to work with, and like they blend in more easily. But yeah, you're gonna want to look close at the nibs before you buy, just so you don't like accidentally buy the wrong one or something. Oh yeah, and the normal 𝐒𝐞 colors, I'm pretty sure they come in like smaller and bigger sets. I think there's like 48 and 218. I don't know, I'll link them all for you. After I use markers, I normally go in with colored pencils. I used to use like a lot of colored pencils, but I think it looks better with still mainly markers. I use the Arteza 48 set, but to be honest, I actually only use like a few of the same one. Normally like the less saturated blue and yellow, because I use them for like shadows and lighting stuff. So if you want to use them the same way I do, maybe it's better to like just buy a few individual colors rather than a whole set. Because for colored pencils, you definitely want some like good ones, because you do not want to be using those like wooden ones with no pigment, because especially if you're using them on top of markers, the cheap wooden ones, they probably wouldn't show up. These ones are the ones I use the most, and if I had one, I'd go for like a dark or a light purple as well. If you want to use them for shading, just get like some unsaturated colors. I'll link the set and some individual ones I like, but it'll probably be cheaper to get like the individual ones in store, because then you can like test them and stuff as well. But yeah, if you're wondering, I use this peach color because I normally like, I put a bit of skin color around the hair that's around the face. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like that pizza trend, but I'm a traditional artist, so I have to do this. I see some people like do it with the markers straight away, but like I'm not that good here, so I have to use a colored pencil. It's fine, I'll probably like figure it out soon. But yeah, if you don't want to do that pizza overlay thing, then you don't even need like like this peach colored pencil. After all that, then I use a white gel pen. I use Sakura Jelly Roll. Mine came in size 5, size 8 and size 10. Honestly though, I'm not too bothered about the size, like I just use the first one I see. All of them are finer than the Posca markers, so good enough. Posca markers are a bit too thick for me personally, like in my opinion you might as well use paint or Tipex. By the way, my dog got this one, like I didn't do that. Sakura Jelly Rolls just have like regular gel pen problems, by the way. Sometimes they just like don't want to work, like you have to like hold it at a specific like angle and pressure, I don't know, it's weird. I've used Uniball Signo pens as well, which are a bit thicker than this, same problem. It doesn't really go on very well with coloured pencils. Acrylics and dried watercolour are fine though. It makes my artwork look juicy though, so well worth the paint I'd say. Normally I use watercolour for the background, and these Winsor & Newton ones are the ones I use. I have a big one and I have a small one. I can switch out the watercolour pans in both of them, so what you see here like might not be in the actual set. But anyways, I'd say you don't really need the big one unless you know you're a watercolour artist. Even then, I feel like the small one's enough, like you can just mix whatever colours you need. It's perfect size for travel and comes with like this small brush, so I bring it to school with me because you know art GCSE, and honestly it's like more than enough. Big one, honestly you don't need it. If I were you, I'd spend my money on like higher quality paint because this paint is like really good, right? Winsor & Newton Cotman paint, but like they have a grade above that called like professional or something. Like I honestly buy professional paint instead of like more lower quality paint, you know what I mean? That's like only if you like really want to get into watercolor though. Like for me personally, the Cotman is more than enough. It's really good. I only bought the big one because it was on sale. Good financial decisions, I know. As for brushes, I like the De La Rowney Simply ones. These two cost £1, which I think is like really cheap considering they're branded paint brushes. So yeah, you can buy those if you want. Especially since the travel brush that comes with the pocket set is like, its pocket is really small. Like if you want to use the watercolors to do backgrounds, you're probably gonna want to use a bigger brush. Bigger brush is also like generally more comfortable to hold because like the pocket brush is tiny. And that's it for watercolors. I don't know why it's taking me so long to talk about art supplies, but I'll film the rest tomorrow. Wait, one last thing. Since we're on the topic of watercolors, remember to drink your water, guys. Like you're probably freaking dehydrated right now. Go drink your water. Dehydration is like one of those things where you don't realize you're dehydrated because you've just been dehydrated like your whole life. But remember to drink water because like water is good for your body, and like good body equals good art. Like how many times do I need to say this? Having a good body and having a good brain will make you improve at art like 10 times faster. I like this water bottle. Basically it's auto closes, so I don't need to like put the lid on and take it off every time I want to like drink. It might seem like a really small thing, but like small things like this keep you dehydrated when you're drawing. Basically I like this water bottle by 𝐂𝐿. Don't forget to drink water, like bro. In fact, go get some water right now. I'm waiting for you to get water. Have you done taking a sip yet? As for acrylic paints, my absolute favorites are the studio ones by Pepio. They're really thick, maybe high viscosity, whatever that means. But like 100% you want to be buying these over the cheaper ones that normally come in sets. Like 100% if I were you, I just buy the primary colors black, a crap ton of white from the Pepio studio paints, and like just ignore these paints. I used a lot of these cheaper set paints before, and like most of them, they're just like really watery. Like it looks nice and cool because it has like loads of different colors. Wow, but like you can mix them all. If you do already have like some cheap paints though and you want to like upgrade, it is totally fine to like mix them. That's what I've been doing because you know I don't want to waste paint. Just like use more of the Pebeo paint than the cheap paint because yeah, the cheap paint watery. I did it a lot for this painting and it worked out for me personally. It's an art study for ETA 789. Also no, it is mostly paint, but because I couldn't get like the outline that fine with the paintbrush, I used a marker. You can put markers on top of paint, gasp surprise. If you want specifics, I have 50 primary magenta transparent. I have 48 opaque primary yellow. I genuinely can't tell the difference between like transparent and opaque. Like the transparent one seems pretty opaque to me, like at least compared to like the cheap paints. Maybe just go for opaque to be safer because like opaque good. Then I have 49 opaque primary cyan. Somehow I lost the lid for this, but like I've had this paint for a year and it hasn't like dried out, so W paint I guess. For black I have 26 mask black opaque, but like black is black. And for white I have 41 vivid white and 11 titanium white, and like I'm not joking when I say I literally only just realized that these two whites were different. The titanium white has a slightly brighter casing, so maybe that means it's brighter, but like I can't tell the difference, man. There's also the gesso. I don't really use gesso unless I'm painting on weird stuff like wood. Like this one's a board. I've only really painted on boards in the past. I don't use gesso for that. I actually haven't properly painted on a stretched canvas before, but you know, I'm assuming that you probably don't need gesso. I don't know, you might want to double check that. My sister painted this by the way, and she didn't use gesso. It's the Pebeo paint, but she added like loads of water to it so she could still see the outline. That's what I normally do when I paint. I start off with like a watered down version, so when I did this painting, it looked really terrifying at the start. I didn't use gesso for this either, by the way. I just went straight on the sketchbook with paint. By the way, these canvases are 𝐂𝐿 & Co ones. I haven't used them before though, so I don't know if they're good or not. And this is a board that I got from like some random, like, you know, those learn how to do acrylic art sets. It's a kind of crappy set though, so I'm not gonna link it. Honestly, just like paint on your sketchbook cover, easy, problem solved. As for paintbrushes, I have a lot and I just kind of like shove them in there. Most of these ones are either bulk made brushes or Hobbycraft white synthetic brushes, but some of those are from like those learn how to acrylic painting sets. Yeah, I'm not gonna link those. I also have some palette knives, 4 of them, that came with this Hobbycraft like huge ass paint palette. I thought it was really cool that it was like wood at first, but this one is like absolutely huge. So it's really heavy and I can't hold it for a long time, which is great. For some more details, I use the gold taklon brush by Royal and Langnickel. But my absolute favorite brushes are the gold taklon synthetic by Dale Around Simply. I had some ones before that I really liked, very affordable considering the quality, but I accidentally let the paint dry in them, so yeah, I got some new ones. Don't be stupid like me guys, wash your brushes. Some of you guys might also remember this DAS I figured that I was working on and then forgot about. I didn't forget about it, school just happened and now I have no time to work on it. To be honest though, I don't think I'll like continue doing him because like his kneecaps are broken. Yeah, he's got some like internal damage from when my dog almost ate him. Next year when I have time to work on clay figures again, I'll probably just like restart, to be honest. Anyway, for that I used DAS air dry clay in white, and for the base I used a combination of things: craft wire, aluminium foil, which is basically like kitchen foil, cardboard, hot glue, sellotape, and like clay of course on top of that. Bro, I just basically shoved a bunch of stuff together. Working with the clay, I use my fingers and I use these plastic modeling tools. Sometimes I also use an X-Acto knife after the clay has dried. It normally takes like a day for me, by the way, just to like, you know, get in some of the finer detail. Also, quick note, if you draw a lot at school like me, then maybe you can buy like an art book to bring with you. Like, it's good inspiration and good reference because like at my school at least, we're not allowed to use phones and stuff, so. This here is the PSD art book. I bring it to school with me sometimes because I'm obsessed. I think they only have Chinese and Japanese versions, which is really sad because no English, but also I don't really care because it's an art book. So yeah, I have a Chinese version that I can't read even though I'm Chinese because I'm a failure. But like, it's fine because I bought it to look at the pretty art, not to read it. Also, mine came with stickers and postcards, like isn't that like so cute? I also bring my Chia Nendo to school for moral support, and also he's a good reference, you know? Actually, he's not really a good reference because I already memorized how to draw Chia, but it's okay because he's a great moral support. Anyways, you want to know what the #1 art supply is? It's you, or the more specifically your past self's like hard work. I suppose that counts as like brain and stuff, but like it's because of your past self's like hard work that you're here where you are today. Like bro, have you seen all my sketchbooks? I have like over 25. But you know, maybe you look back on your past self and you actually like hate yourself a bit, like, you know, like you kind of think to yourself, why did I leave that assignment until now? Why didn't I do it then? Or you know, you think to yourself, why did I waste all that time playing the video games or watching all the YouTube videos? And you know, in my opinion at least, I think it's kind of fair that you hate your old self because your old self sacrificed the you in the present so that they could have a bit more like pleasure. But you know, if the you right now does all the hard stuff, then the you in the future is gonna have an easier life, and the future is gonna look back and be like, damn, I'm really glad I did all that hard work. I'm glad I did the art studies every day. I'm glad that even though it was kind of hard and I didn't want to, I did what was best for me. And the future is going to love you because like, how can they not? You know, instead of like scrolling shorts all day, you did the art studies even though you kind of like didn't want to, and now you're an art god. It just kind of like makes you respect and love yourself, which is like really nice. So yeah, let's just end the video on a nice note and maybe you can go like do what's best for you now. It doesn't even have to be art related, to be honest. Like maybe the best thing for you right now is to go to sleep. You know, like tomorrow you is going to be a lot more happier if you went to sleep now instead of like, you know, doing it about all night or like watching the YouTube videos. Or you know, maybe you can like actually finally finish that drawing that you've been thinking about for a while. Just do what's best for you right now, and then in the future you is going to be able to look back and like kind of love yourself, you know. Take action. Good night.